Greyfriar Hall B. And if you're here to see Living with a Pack of Wolves, just like the signage says up here, you're at the right place. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about Rhonda, Goins, and the Bays Mountain Park. Bays Mountain Park, they're going to be celebrating their 44th year, and I didn't realize that until I just talked to Rhonda a few minutes ago, but they have been open for 44 years. They've been doing the wolf rehabilitation for 16, I think you told me now, or you've been with them for 16?
Yeah, it's not really rehabilitation, but yeah.
And so,
yeah, since 1992.
And just not only the wolf rehabilitation, but Rhonda has a bachelor's degree from ETSU, which if you're not from around here, it's East Tennessee State, in biology, and she has many certificates in wolf behavior, but I hope I pronounced this correctly. She really heads up the herpetarium, is that correct?
Perfect.
And she works with all the animals there at the park. So she has a lot of credentials that she brings to this program. She has a great staff. If you missed the program that they had earlier in the week on Wednesday of raising a puppy pack, as they call them, it was a great presentation, some great pictures, and you'll see some more of those. She has a calendar available of a lot of those puppies that they were raising here just recently. And they also have a booth in the exhibit center, so if you want to go over and check out their booth after the presentation, feel free to do that. And they do have 2 generations of wolves now, but they'd like to go forward with that, and Rhonda will give you a lot more information about that as they go along with the presentation. Let these folks get in here and get settled. Welcome. But without any further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce Rhonda Goins to me.
Okay, where is this located? It's in Kingsport, Tennessee. We are one of the Tri-Cities. It's near Bristol. So it's up 81, 40, 81, then we're 26 crosses to go to over Sam's Gap or Kingsport. Go to Kingsport. We're about 3 miles up the road. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, well, it's a good day trip. Also, what Gail's handing out tickets for is we've got a wolf sweatshirt and a Bays Mountain Park rain jacket and zip line tickets. This is a zip party for an hour and a half, up to 14 people, how many people you can send down that zip line. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to talk about wolves, not zip lines. I'll run the zip line too, but you know, that's nothing like living with a pack of wolves. I changed a little bit of the videos and pictures up because I wanted to, if people has attended every program, they won't get bored. Some of them are the same. I've got like 20-some thousand pictures to go through, and me and Teresa and Gail's been up sometimes till 2 o'clock in the morning trying to change up the shows. So this is the lights down a little bit more. What? Do y'all want the lights down a little bit more? They're fine.
Now it's back. Let's find where it was. Nobody's touching it. Whoa.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it good, Teresa? Is it good? Okay. This is what the little puppies looked like when me and Gail arrived in Minnesota. Excuse me. We picked up 4 puppies. We wanted 2 girls, 2 boys, and originally we was going to go to South Dakota and pick up 2, and then make another way up trek to Minnesota and pick up 2 more. But just so happened they had extra 2. I said, okay, I'll just do 1 trip to Minnesota. So we took our time going to Minnesota because we can. We can stop here, stop there, and see other wolves. But we had to hurry on our way back. We had like 2 days to get from Minnesota all the way to Kingsport and 4 puppies and feed them and let them use the bathroom. So from left to right, that's Unali. He's our biggest puppy, and he's our biggest puppy right now. His name means friend in Cherokee. And then that's Ayla. She's a little girl. She was born about a week later. Her name means earth, or all the ecosystem.
Circle of life.
Circle of life. and I always forget that. And then the only little black one, Dakota, she is a Spitfire, always has been. Dakota, her name means friend of many, and she definitely is Dakota Sioux. And then all the way to the right is a Hooley. His name means drum or drummer in Cherokee. He's named, all these have special names tied to the human pack, not the four-legged pack. So that's us getting really, really excited to bring them home. So, of course, we're going to hug them up. That's the first time we ever laid eyes on Unali. We didn't know his name yet. They were not named until they were kind of on the way home, and they said, yeah, this is here and this is there, because they had to name yourself with the son a little bit. They're so cuddable. He's probably about 9 pounds. He's the biggest one. And he's our only part redhead. We were so excited to have a redhead wolf. Okay, this is on the way home. We're trying to post pictures because we didn't let all the volunteers. Well, we had a puppy page, and all of our volunteers, about 67 of us volunteers, we released one a day on the way home. So we just took a picture and said, oh, this is here, and then later, it's just really awesome because we kept everybody in suspense. A Hooley we could tell him apart because he looks like a little porcupine, or possum hair. He's just like a little spritz of hair. Dakota, they're brother and sister. That's the only ones that they come from the same mother and father. They're pack mates, litter mates. Ayla is she's in the middle. She's the child in the middle. And she probably acts like a child in the middle. You can tell her apart because she's got a little fat little nose, and she did not have a puppy coat. She had a full grown-up coat when we saw her. She was a beautiful coat. She still has a beautiful coat. And Unali, he was kind of shy at first when I was kind of worried about him, because if you have a shy wolf when they're little, they're usually shy forever, and it's harder to work with them, and it's stress for them. He come right out of his shell. He's awesome. This is what we get to do on the way home. You know, we get to cuddle and play, and this is our play time. Kissing time, all that stuff. Hugs and kisses. I don't want to frighten out there. Sit down and we'll go to the next slide. The next slide is a really pretty cool slide. This is taken in our car on my cell phone. The first howl of a Hooley, and then others join in. So get ready. That's us. The puppies are coming. Look at her face. It's awesome. I mean, I get paid. So it's just really awesome that, because we have them on the way home, and we have all summer, and then other guys have been done the exactly same way. So they're at our pack also, but we have to make these puppies feel like a part of their pack because they've been taken away from their parents. So it takes 3 months to do that really successfully, and to do it where our puppies are so relaxed with our new pack that they just think that, they just feel like they're one of East Tennessee's residents. So this is how we traveled. It's cold up there in May, so we just pulled off the road. We try to pull off the road at a place that we won't gather traffic and gather people, because people mean danger, because they might carry diseases on their feet and on their hands, and we didn't let anybody touch the puppies. We was really careful where we put the puppies down because they have no inoculations. They're too young. They can't have any shots whatsoever. So this was in way back of the truck stop, and all those fields right there, that field right there. I don't know what they was farming, maybe soybeans, but it was a huge field, and he was plowing it in May. And this is how they run around and use the bathroom, and we feed them and clean them and give them baths and all that stuff. So that little corral was first used as my grandson's corral, and he's 11. So he was when I got it back, I used it for puppies. This is the second puppies I've used it with. It has a deer, possum, chickens, ducks, whatever I have at the moment that needs corralled before I take it to a rehabber. The wolves, there are the only creatures at the park that, are in captivity that's not been, something happened to them by humans. So they're not rehabbed. All of our animals over the park are rehabs because, they have to have someplace to go and we're safe. But the wolves have been bought and paid for and they live their life out there. These two ladies at the top of the screen, they let us have their camper for 3 months in the summer. And, well, see, they use it for hunting. So they don't care about summer campers. So we set it all up, and that was our office. That was where I slept. That was where a lot of the volunteers slept. Me and Gail called home, and my grandson, I went home 5 times in the whole complete summer. My husband come to me, and he brought me groceries and all that stuff. So that, he's a pretty good man. Wash my clothes, he's a really good man to spend a really special anniversary up there sleeping with the wolves. This is how we lived for 3 months. 2 months of the summer because that's a 25 by 25 container, and it's got a roof and a shade cloth and a tarp. So we sit on the ground or on logs. We sleep in that little hut that you see in 4-wolf puppies. They're little now. They get bigger. And they still act like they're little teeny, and they still want to sleep in that hut with you. So it's really awesome. We just take turns because all these 67 volunteers want to come up there at the same time. So we have a calendar. We have a rule, no more than 4 in the, it's 25 by 25. You got 4 puppies and you got 4 adults. So, the first month was like not fighting over space, but like hammering over space. So later in the year, we got more used to it. Usually, that's the reason I have 67 volunteers, because over half of them disappear. After they get a hug a wolf and touch a little puppy, they don't want to do the poop scooping and all that nasty work, because you have to do the good with the bad. So this year, we didn't lose but maybe 2 or 3. So, because I have to get a whole bunch of people, because what if I didn't get a whole bunch of people and everybody left? So I couldn't do it by myself because I work, most people work. So we have to, 25, how many hours is in a day today? 24/7, 3 months. So we have to constantly be with these guys. This is that night, I think, the first night, and we're just kind of hanging out. We have to stay all night with them too. We have to sleep with them. And write everything down that they do. Every time they pee, everything they do, even their interactions. And because when you look back at 2003 puppies and what they did, see, I have to keep track of all their shots and when I did what. So it's really nice to read that journal. It's a really nice journal. Volkswagen Golf. By lights are on. Nice food. That's, I don't know if Sonia's trying to get the food from a hoolie or what, but we mix that food. It's, when we come home, it was a little bit of baby food because it's easier baby food and milk. It's called Espalac. We probably bought over 120 pounds of Espalac. It's powdered formula, 4 dogs, 4 canines, and mix it up. Warm, of course. They don't like cold milk any more than baby would. So we mix it up with meat, and then later it's less milk and more meat. And then when that happens, we give them vitamins for their calcium. So it's just like a baby, And that's my daughter. She's not painting his nails. She wanted a picture with a hoolie because a hoolie was named for my son. I lost my son 3.5 years ago, so we were trying to she picked out his name. So she was a wolf volunteer for a little while, but she's afraid of big dogs, big animals. So she kind of said, well, I'm not going to do it anymore. I can help when they're little. She can do anything, bring me food. Her husband brings really good stuff up there because he likes to fix food. So anything they can chew on, we don't want them to chew on us, but they can chew on, outside toys like a stick and a bone, leaves, branches. That's what wood puppies would play with anyway. That's what, if you go in there and you've not been with the puppies for 2 or 3 days, you think they're just going to when you go in there, they're just going to all love you and kiss you all over. Well, they're asleep and you have to go in there really, really quiet. You don't want to wake a sleeping baby, let alone 4 wolf puppies, because they need their sleep. So a lot of people the visitors say, can you wake them up? Absolutely not, but you don't want to wake a sleeping baby up. So, they're just like, if you sit down and nobody wakes up, you're sitting there for hours. But, you're sitting there for hours watching a wolf puppy twitch his ears, and that's awesome, because we have videos of wolf puppy twitching ears. We have videos of everything that went on all summer. I have no idea how many videos. I could probably hold a day seminar on nothing but videos. That's just what we do. We just hold puppies and take care of them and give them love. And it was cold when we first got there. It was going in the 30s, 35 maybe. It was very cold. I'm so glad I was in the camper that night. Me and Gail was driving all night. So we just y'all take care of the puppies. We're going to go to sleep. But I felt so bad I wouldn't turn on the camper heater because they didn't have heat. And I didn't want, them to say, well, Rhonda's in the bed and she's got covers, she's got heat. But, I learned. They said, no, turn on your heat because when we come in here, we want to get warm. So, yeah, that's nice. Many books that are very inquisitive, if it's mine. It's mine. It's everything is mine to a puppy. So they try to get everything. And if you notice all through these slides, we're wearing all the same clothes. We have to wear the same clothes because wolves don't change clothes. We have to keep their smell on us all the time because you don't change your clothes. If you get really, really, really dirty, you can wash your clothes in water. No perfume, nothing that would attract a scent, because you know what dogs do constantly. Every time they meet, they smell each other. Every time. Never fails. So that's what they do to us. Wow, I know you. You're Teresa. But if you skip 2 days and have different clothes on, different shoes, it's just like confusing them. You want them to be your family. So we don't want to mess that up. And we talk to them too. They talk back. Sometimes they just talk back. So that's all 4 of them. 2's trying to sleep. Here's Ayla trying to talk to her mom. And Unala's just laying around. Just laying down. Sometimes that's what we look up and see. Hundreds of children. That's what we do. So that when the nature shows go on over on the other side of the wolf pack, the ranger says, now be really, really quiet. We don't want to scare the puppies of children. That's a very, very important thing, because children come up to the park every day, and sometimes 5 times as many as that. That's one class. That's just one class. We have 20 busloads of kids sometimes. So we don't want the wolf puppies to be frightened of the children, because children come up there all the time. So we teach the children and the puppies. The puppies are afraid of people right now. They just like to run to us. But later they'll come up and just stare at the other people. So it's really pretty cool. That's a footprint of a puppy. That's pretty big for a puppy. That's what we live in, mud. It was kind of grassy and 2 or 3 days long. Nah, there's no grass whatsoever in that pen. They're just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. This is what we do. Photographer's on the left. That's who made a really beautiful calendar. He's really, really, really awesome. And Teresa's husband, I was all day up. Apparently it was cold that morning. We had Goofy too, because I have to give the wolves their vitamins and medicine, and they hate it. So I was trying to give Sonia medicine, but it didn't work. But Goofy, we keep Goofy after about 9 hours in wolf pen. Well, it takes 3 people to give medicine sometimes, because you have to kind of hold them down, hold their head still, because as soon as that medicine flies in their mouth, they'll shake their head and stick out their tongue, and no medicine gets down their throat. So it's a trick. Kind of hold their nose and blow in it. And they'll swallow every time. You can't do a kid that way, it's not nice. But you can do a wolf that way, and rub their throat, blow in their nose. Just puff in their nose, and they'll swallow. Well, that's my grandson's first night in the wolf pen, in sleeping with the wolves. Probably about 12 o'clock. That was Dakota. He loves Dakota. Everybody has a favorite, I guess. He said, Mima, I'll get this wolf, the mud on my throat, my neck. It was a wolf paw, so I had to get that mud on his neck, because that's how excited he is. Yeah, he was so good with the pups. He was really good. Natural, of course. He's comes from me. He's a naturalist. And sometimes, I think Teresa had the den and no puppies. And here's her husband laying on the rocks. Poor Poor Dawn, with all the puppies on him. Teresa was probably snoring away, I don't know. But sometimes that's how we had to sleep out there. We only allowed the 3 blankets and a sleeping bag. You cannot, if you didn't like to sleep in somebody else's sleeping bag, I'm sorry, you don't stay the night because we don't